is 1 o'clock, Tuesday, January 23rd. I'd like to call the Construction Board of Adjustment and Appeals to order. The first item is opportunity for any public comment. Seeing none, we'll move on. Appears we do have a quorum. Next thing, review and approve minutes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. The item today is appeal of a decision, determination, order, or notice of the building official regarding 404 South Kings Highway. Kevin, you want to take it for the city?
Yes, sir, I will. Mr. Picklesheimer, do you mind if we do a roll call so we can get who's here?
Sure.
Precious, if you'd like to.
Okay. Mike Picklesheimer,
Here.
Lau Lynch, John Murray,
Here.
Ben Blake,
Here.
Carolyn Lester,
Here.
Matt Taylor,
Here.
Ryan Maloney.
Here.
All right, thank you. So this case is 404 Kings Highway. This came before us last year. Actually, I think last December is where this case got started. Just to kind of give you guys a background, I know you guys are familiar with it, but to get everybody back on the same page, we issued a demolition order on this church. The ceiling was sagging, had a lot of structural issues. The church appealed it, the order to demo. Pastor Diedrich Messenger came in here. We heard it, I believe, in January of last year, or maybe in December. And at that point, the board granted him 6 months because he didn't know all this was out there. The previous owner had sold it to him without him being aware that we had these orders on this church. So you guys granted him 6 months. So 6 months goes by. He came back in June, I believe. And that's when Mr. Warren was here as well, the structural engineer who did the initial report in December. We went through that report, and that's when we had decided that there may be different ways to replace this roof. We had talked about removing the roof completely, putting a new roof on, maybe cheaper than their alternative that Mr. Warren had suggested. But then we also thought forward, thinking, well, if we were fix the roof with new trusses, can that foundation support that roof? So at that point, I believe that's when Mr. Warren, the engineer, provided his services for free, that he recommended that he would come out and assess the structural integrity of that foundation and give us a report going forward on how the church could possibly rebuild that. I know in the meantime they have took the underpinning and the underpinning of the church down. I know Mr. Warren has been out there. We are still awaiting that report. We don't have that structural report on that foundation yet from him. So that's kind of where we stand. We haven't had much movement on that. I don't know if Mr. Diedrich has anything he needs to add from the church's side. But I would like to make a recommendation to the board that initially we made an appeal. His appeal was to not demo the church. And I feel like at this point, with the cooperation of the board, and I think the city feels comfortable with that we're not going to probably pursue that demo order anymore. I feel like instead of coming back every 6 months asking for time, I feel like the church, Mr. Messenger, and the city can agree on a way to proceed forward. And whether that's with Mr. Warren's recommendations or another structural engineer's recommendations, I feel like we can agree on something to move forward instead of coming back every 6 months before the board to give an update. So that was my thought. I don't know, again, if Mr. Messenger would like to add anything to that as far as how the church is still acting. And you guys aren't meeting in the church still?
No, we're not meeting at all. We've been online. We was waiting for Mr. Warren, and he said that I talked to him last time, and he said, well, I said, Mr. Warren, you got anything for me? I called him probably every other month. And he said, then last text I got from him, he said, I'm waiting for the city. I called you, Kevin. And I said, yeah. He said, well, I hadn't heard anything, so we come today. And I called him, and I asked him. He didn't return my call. And so we don't know where to go, because we was waiting for him to tell us what we need to do. And it would be unfair for me to tell the church members to give me this kind of money or to raise this kind of money, and we don't do it. That ain't. I don't think that's the integrity of who I am, to take something from somebody and we're not going to do something with it. So I think me and Kevin, we just talked. Maybe we can find another engineer, somebody that can give us, tell us what we need to do, and we can start right there if Mr. Warren doesn't come forward. We were willing to try to do what we need to do. We don't know what to do. And when he came in and said he would do this, we were just waiting for the word.
And again, in this situation, if you guys recall, if we tear the church down, we're not able to rebuild this church due to some planning and zoning. So that's where we want to work with these guys. I feel like the church will do the right thing. If it's financially irresponsible, this church may be demolished anyways. But I also feel like the city can work with them. I think we can provide them a path and a plan going forward to give them a chance to renovate this. So that's kind of where I'd like to withdraw the demo order. Obviously, the church would still remain condemned, not be able to be occupied. It is still unsafe to be occupied, but that would allow us opportunity to work together and again, keep coming back, not having to come back for the board. So like I said, the initial decision was to appeal the demolition, and I feel like we're at to the point where if we can help them, we're going to make this work. So that's my thoughts.
Any motion from the board? I will say I drove by there about a week ago, and I couldn't tell there's any deterioration whatsoever. I mean, it looks
Yeah.
like it did a year ago,
Yeah.
so.
I agree. What kind of motion? You need a motion? You just need an agreement? What do
Yeah,
you need here?
Need a motion? Yeah, I would make a motion.
I think that'd probably see it best.
To just let staff and the applicant continue
Yeah.
working with each other? I'll make a motion to that effect.
Second.
All right, have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Do we need to roll call this or just,
Please.
all right? Precious, could you do the roll call?
Mike Picklesheimer,
Yes.
Lau Lynch, John Murray,
Yes.
Ben Blake,
Yes.
Carolyn Lester,
Yes.
Matt Taylor,
Yes.
Ryan Maloney.
Yes.
I thought so.
That's good timing.
Siri, yes.
That set that up. No.
All right, well, continue to work with your engineer. Wish you the best on that, and
Especially free.
hopefully with the city,
All right.
we can get this figured out.
Amen.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, man.
Good luck.
Thank you. Kevin, could you just send me an email on this?
Yes, sir, I will.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Thank you.
That's what happens when you offer.
Next item on business, staff reports.
So I don't really have anything other than just kind of maybe give you guys, I appreciate y'all coming out, braving the snow, what's left of it. I'm glad to see grass again. So like I said, we don't have too much other than, let me see here, Mr. Taylor. Well, let me get this right here. Nope. Mr. Lynch, Mr. Maloney, and Mr. Murray, you guys' terms are expiring in June. I know we got a little bit a ways, but just wanted you guys to be aware of that. So I may be reaching out here the next month or so just to kind of see what you guys, how y'all feel about returning to the board, or maybe looking at possible replacements. So, but again, I appreciate all y'all's time and your dedication to this committee and coming out and supporting us. So.
Been pretty demanding.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yep.
Now, Kevin, what's our schedule as far as do we have yearly elections of chairman and positions, or how's that done?
So there's a seven-member board, there's a seven-member board, and you're appointed
Wait.
you serve for 3 years. So every June, so right now, last June, I think 4 of y'all, or 4 members went off the board or came back. And then this year, it's 3 members. And then every May, we select chairman. So maybe at that point, you can get Lyle or somebody.
Spread the wealth a little bit.
Just make sure you're here at that meeting. That way,
Yeah.
if you're not here, then
No kidding.
All right.
Well, if we come off in June and I'm not here, I'm canceling it altogether.
yeah.
No.
All right, if there's no other business, we're adjourned.
Thank you, Mike.